Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do a rant and the usual disclaimers, I had technical difficulties because my computer decided, but we need to update now, instead of doing it the entire time I had it fucking plugged in, sitting over there while I was at work, for God's sake. Thank you. I needed to get that out. Alright, in the description box, you're going to see the link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It is written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, wherein they surveyed over 900 ABA professionals from all over the world in regards to their quote-unquote behavioral treatment program. Matter of fact, JRC doesn't want you to read this article so much they have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from their website. NeuroClastic has refused. So, I have it linked here in the description box. Make sure you read and you share it on all your social media. We also have NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe set up by us here. Well, not all of Autistic Twitter, okay? Please share on all your social media. We also have the links to the articles that we have gone over thus far in regards to the Agape boarding school situation. Agape boarding school is a school out in Stockton, Missouri that is Christian themed for turnaround, rebellious teens. Fuck me. That has, and count them folks, 19 pending lawsuits, including sexual abuse, child abuse, labor exploitation of a minor, I'm not sure of the exact legal term there, and starvation. We have yet to come across anything where Agape has had anything to say for themselves thus far, so right now we just have the links that we've got in the media. I have not come across any court documents. If you see either of those, please link me in the comments. We also have the pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. When we discuss the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones. It is 4:41, I'm aggravated, and I'm hungry, so if I curse a lot, stare off into space, or stumble over my words, apologies in advance, alright? Okay, 126. 20 students' current IEPs include recommendations for speech and language therapy. JRC records indicates that 12 students are receiving speech therapy, language therapy with most a duration and frequency of 1 to 30 minutes a week, the minimum NYS regulatory requirement. And now they're going to tell them they don't know their own students. Watch this shit. March 14th, 2006, JRC sent to NSED all of the current IEPs for the New York school-age students. Of the IEPs sent, only 13 of the IEPs called for speech and language therapy as direct service, not the 20 that was stated in the report. So you're telling us that New York State don't know their own students. Is that what you're saying, JRC? Are you trying to say that they did not come over the paperwork and they're just pulling numbers out of their ass? I don't think so. See, you are known at JRC to pull kids out of different therapies that is indicated in the IEPs. We know this from witness testimonies, from parents who have talked, as well as other school districts. So, you're lying. Okay? You're lying. You don't get to pick and choose what you do in the IEP and then bald-face fucking lie. Because if New York says there's supposed to be 20 students in speech therapy, there's supposed to be 20 students in speech therapy. Okay? You get me? Another 9 IEPs of these sent to NSED in March called for speech and language consult. What? How the fuck do you think these kids get into speech therapy? Let me guess, you determined they didn't need it, right? The frequency of the direct service provided in some IEPs is listed as 1 to 30 minutes a week, which is the duration of the service approved by the CSE. Oh, here we go again. So you only require the bare minimum, so we don't understand why you're upset. Really? Really? Seriously now? It's your job to take recommendations by the school districts these kids are being sent from? Seriously, JRC? Are you kidding me right now? JRC provides greater than the required regulation of 2 30-minute programs throughout the entire day. Okay, which one is it, JRC? Are you doing the 1 30 minutes a week, or are you doing 2? Because you're claiming both here. So which is it? If this had been discussed with the JRC education staff as a concern, NSED staff would have been able to easily understand. Oh, here the fuck we go again. If you would just let us explain. Explain what? What, JRC? That you pick and choose what you follow in the IEPs, as we've seen in the past? That you feel like you have the power to determine whether or not a student needs speech therapy and will yank them out without notifying the proper departments? That you will sit there and bald-faced lie and say, well, we do what's required of us, and sometimes we do it 2 times a week. Which one is it? I thought AH would tell on herself, but God damn. God damn. At 127, at JRC, behavioral counseling is provided in a non-traditional format. The nature of counseling is unclear. I can clarify it for you. You have to earn the right to counseling. In fact, we're going to go over this real quick, and we'll come back to this here tomorrow. See, the JRC does provide counseling services, but in order for the students to be able to access them, they have to have the required points in order to attend those counseling sessions. And if they do not have those points, they don't get to go to counseling or therapy. In fact, all we have to do is go back to the things that Jennifer Masumba has written and what has been clarified on her own sheets from your school to actually clarify that for us. You having counselors there does jack fucking shit if the student cannot have access to these services because they're not being a proper good robot. What's the point of therapy and counseling, folks? It is to deal with deep-seated issues, right? Right? It would actually make more sense to increase time in counseling if behaviors are becoming more and more prevalent and violent, right? You want to get to the issue, correct? And take care of it. That's what therapy does. That's the logic. Oh no, but the JRC knows better than all of us, right? No, what we need to do is torture them. And then if they behave like what we consider a normal neurotypical should, even if that idea of normal has no basis in actual reality for any neurotypical teen, then you don't get to have counseling and the tools that you would need to be able to figure out what's triggering these behaviors and dealing with them in a non-violent, torturous manner. You ever listen to yourself, JRC? We try everything. We have all these services, and they're just good little robots. Don't get access to them. Tell me you try everything one more time. fucking tell me you try everything one more goddamn time. Because you don't. You have all these services here, and then you fucking God, you police their ability to have access to therapy. Some of these kids are in this school with post-traumatic stress disorder, and you're forcing them to have to earn the right for counseling and therapy. That's the truth of it. And I've got a lot of receipts to back it up, so come at me. Alright, I'm gonna close out on that one. We don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this evening. As always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. We'll see you next time.